So I'm Chloe, I'm 27.
My name's John.
I'm Saba. I'm 18 in 10 days' time. I live in Benwell in Newcastle.
My name's Ryan. Well, I don't know where to start, really. It's been quite a year.
I've got a private hire cab firm here in Newcastle in the city centre.
I've got Emily who's 5 and Jaden who's 3. They're outside with me sister.
I live in St Peter's Basin with me wife and me kids.
I live with my partner. We've got a house in Stamfordham. We bought it about 18 months ago.
Me sister's got them for a few hours.
I'm at college at the moment.
3 kids, 13, 15 and 8.
I did my GCSEs and then I went to Newcastle College to do visual communication. But then we got sent home because of the corona and they didn't set us any work because they said we didn't have the materials at home to be able to do anything. So we haven't done the final project, which is a bit weird. I went back this September, but it's not the same. I don't think I'm going to carry on. I don't want to catch the virus and I don't want to give it to my nanny. She lives with us and I go straight home most days to look after her. She's got dementia. She can't remember stuff.
I've got a business here. I've lived here all my life. My parents are from Heaton and their parents. I've got 12 drivers working for us, plus my wife and my father-in-law. We haven't been bought out yet.
I have to keep looking at my phone in case Jaden's driving me sister mad. She's fine with Emily, she loves playing with Emily, but Jaden's got a lot of energy. He uses me like a climbing frame the whole time.
We used to have a flat in Wall's End, but we wanted to live out in the country, settle down a bit. It's the first time we've had a garden, and I've spent a lot of time in the garden this summer. I got furloughed, but my partner Ali kept working, so I thought I'd better do something useful. I started clearing out the bottom of the garden where we'd chucked everything. Then I got told that I was at risk of potential redundancy, and then I got made redundant.
I looked after Nanny during lockdown whilst Mum and Dad were working. We would make paratas. She likes the feel of making paratas. So when she can't remember anything else, she can remember how to make a paratha. It helps her stay focused when she gets upset. So we'll make paratas. It could be in the evening, it could be late in the afternoon. We just make paratas. We'll make paratas with cauliflower and onions. We'll make paratas with just potatoes, just sometimes with butter.
We've worked all the way through the lockdown, just juggling the kids at home. You know, we're key workers, you know, delivering the elderly their shopping and that, you know, people who haven't got any family to do it for them. But we're just waiting for the kids to get sick now, though. Now they're back at school. We can't move without doing slapping a thermometer on our heads, you know. Did you know that taxi drivers are between 3 and 4 times more likely to die from this virus than the average person in this country? How do you think that makes me feel? You know, we're a metre away from our customers in an enclosed space. We've got one of the highest death rates out of everybody. It's a bit of a hotspot, you know. And what for? What, 15 quid a shift sometimes?
I've been growing veg. I started with one bed at the bottom, and I've gradually worked my way up. Alistair says I'm encroaching on the lawn. Now, what's the point in growing grass? Unless you're a horse. It was okay at first. Everyone was being furloughed. Everyone was at home. Everyone's lives were changed. And now it's like some of us have got left behind. Some of us are still on that empty street, in that empty world, and we don't know how to get out of it.
I never asked to be a single parent. I never thought when I was pregnant, when I was with Mark, that I'd be a single parent. Shit like that just happens and you have to deal with it. So I didn't tell me mum. She's on her own. She brought us up on her own in Amble. She's still on her own there now. I love Amble. I love the sea. My mum never wanted us to move from there. She reckons she can smell a bad bloke a mile away. She says the world stinks. Maybe she's right. I told my sister. She lives in a flat with her girlfriend. There's not room for us there. Otherwise, I know she'd have us.
Well, I say I've got 12 drivers. I've had 3 of them leave in the last few months, and the ones that are left, well, they do want to work, but they've got no choice. You know, they're self-employed. Some of them couldn't claim a thing. You know, they've got mortgages, kids, bills still to pay. Some of them borrowed money off their friends, and they don't know how they're going to pay them back. And now we're going to get charged £12.50 per car per day to go into the city centre. That's £3,000 a year per car. You know, the only good thing to come out of this virus is it might put the clean air zone back. You know, apparently they're in discussions about that. And you know that there's talk of a scrappage scheme and grants, £2,000 towards a car. But it's not enough. It's not enough for my family. It's not enough for me business. We can't just go out and upgrade like that. We haven't got the money. We don't have the market. You know, big business, sure, just change to an electric or a low emission fleet. But I can't do that.
It's not a rich area where we live. More than half the children in Benwell are poor. My granddad died last year. And like people here, they live for 3.5 years less than the national average. I think about my granddad sometimes. And I just wonder if we'll live somewhere else, if he'd still be alive.
They said they're reshaping the business. It's like something they do to middle-aged women on daytime TV. Like somehow I'm not the right shape. There's a drop in demand, they said, and they've done a review. And they said they expect it to go on for the foreseeable future. That means as far as anyone can see. As far as anyone can imagine. I know it's happening everywhere. They said they expect more redundancies than in 2008. Companies are axing jobs, like it's some sort of horror film, which it is. Except there's nothing to run away from. Unprecedented times, never before seen. So, loads of people are in the same position, but that doesn't really help when it's happening to you. You know?
Things happen in a whole life. They don't go how you expect. When me and Mark moved to Palmersville in this house, when we got the keys and moved in, there's no way I thought this was going to happen. He was older than me, he was working. That's why we rented over here, because it was close to his work. And I was looking after the babies. Babies. They were then.
We went for a mortgage holiday. It's the only holiday we've had this year. Weather was crap, but the accommodation's nice. So, so we don't have to pay anything until November. And then they'll be in touch. And then I think maybe we can get an extra 3 months. So we'll be here for Christmas. And then, what? We don't know. At some point, we'll have to start paying again. And repaying the payments we missed. They said they're committed to keeping a roof over people's heads during the public health crisis. And then what?
My best friend from school, Ella, she left when we were in year 11. She moved to Ashden with her family. She's at Kirkley Hall. She's doing animal management. She used to have 3 dogs that we used to walk. We both really like animals. I went to see her one day. So I got on the bus to Ponteland, where our college is. I think it took half an hour, maybe 40 minutes. I thought I might see her. We haven't messaged each other for ages. But I didn't see him. So I just went and I sat on a bench. Like, a college has a zoo and he's got wallabies and monkeys. It's so green. I watched everyone going in, and then I watched everyone coming out. It's like everyone knows what they're doing. Everyone knows what they're doing.
I'll tell you why the air pollution's so bad. The council have spent the last few years reducing the road space. They've put in cycle lanes and bus-only lanes. They've ripped out roundabouts and put in traffic lights. They've introduced traffic calming measures throughout Newcastle. Traffic congestion measures, that's what I call them. And the changes around Central Station mean I'm sitting in traffic all the time, and the station's right in the middle of this zone. And they've done away with the locality test. They're handing out licences and plates like it's bloody Christmas, man. There's been a huge increase in private hire vehicles. There's Ubers everywhere, and those lot are sat there scratching their heads, wondering why they've got all this congestion, and now they're going to ask us to pay for their bloody mistakes.
He left when Jaden was 10 months old. I didn't say anything to my family because they didn't like Mark. They never liked him. So I stuck my neck out and said he was all that, and then he wasn't. It was the first time I'd ever been on my own, so I went for benefits, universal credit. It's like a full-time job trying to get benefit and trying to keep benefit. Being made to feel like you're always doing something wrong is a full-time job, and it takes ages to come through, and there wasn't enough for the bills. I got behind with the rent. When the benefits came, I was behind. I wasn't eating, so there was enough for the kids to eat. I had to go to a food bank. I had a loan.
That's the thing. We made all of these commitments before the world changed. We each had a car on finance. Mine was coming at the end of the agreement, so we sold it. And the idea is we're sharing his. But the reality is that he needs his for work. It's hard for me to get about.
I'm not against cycle lanes in the right places or people cycling. You know, my son Connor, he's got a bike. And he's the oldest. He should be cycling to school and back. I mean, he could do with the exercise. Oh, months he spent in that bedroom this year playing bloody video games. You know, when I was his age, I was out every night with my mates. But he says they all socialise online these days, you know, running around in their little lunar landscapes together. You know, he put a hole in the bedroom door the other week because they lost the bloody battle. Anyway, Dawn says it's too dangerous, you know, and he should cycle on the pavement, but he says he'll just get shouted at by the old ladies, and, you know, he's probably right. You know, we don't argue about much, me and Dawn, but I have to be honest with you, we've had words about this. I just wonder what kind of job he's going to be fit for at the end of all this, you know. Taking out alien life forms, jumping from rooftop to rooftop. You know, I said to Dawn, I don't think they do a BTEC in that pit.
2 years ago, I woke up in the middle of the night because I couldn't breathe. I got rushed to the hospital. The doctor said I had asthma. She said not to worry and that it was really common. She said that 1 in 4 people develop allergies. No one knows why. So she said when you're young and you've got asthma and there's lots of air pollution, you get more symptoms and you get more asthma attacks.
When I went to the food bank, I saw this woman about budgeting, and she said, it's not just me. She said more than 1 in every 10 households in the northeast are pushed into poverty by the cost of heating and lighting. So it's not just me. and children growing up in poor housing are more likely to experience mental health problems and problems with their physical health. They even grow more slowly.
So when the air pollution's bad, I have to stay in. I can feel it. In our lives, we breathe in like 250 million litres of air into our lungs. That's 10,000 litres a day. That's like 5,000 plastic bottles of Coke, the really big one. I never really thought about it before I had asthma. We have lots of traffic where I live.
And people die of it. It's not just getting a bit cold. People die. And it is cold. In the winter, the house is so cold. As soon as I turn the heating off, you can see your breath. Last year, Emily wouldn't take her coat off when she got home from school. And I can't cook. Because you don't want to put the cooker on, or you can't put the cooker on once you've used your emergency top up. And it's worse when you're renting off a private landlord. In our place, the only thing that moved out quicker than Mark was the heat.
Our mortgage is extortionate. We can afford it while we're both on good wages, but not just on one. Some firms are cutting hours rather than making people redundant. We could have managed on that. Would have given us more options. It's like everything we've got, everything we've worked for, everything we thought was solid has been thrown up in the air, and it's hard to catch it. I'd take anything right now. I've got this friend who's just graduated. She's got a degree. She's applying for it all. Supermarkets, superstores. She can't even get an interview.
At college, they're like, Saba, you're a bright girl. Saba, you can do this. But I can't. Sometimes getting out of bed in the mornings, it's like, yay, go me. Go me. The thing is, there's not one thing that I can think about when I do think about it that I want to do. It's like I've got no get up and go. It got up and went. What I do a lot of is cry. Something I do a lot of. Mum says it's me hormones and that I should enjoy being young. Dad says I shouldn't worry. But there's a pandemic and the animals are dying and the weather's all over the place and there's no jobs. So...
You know, I wonder what I've done wrong sometimes. We bought diesel cars because we were told diesel was the best. Now we're being told that diesel is the worst and we're going to get charged for it. Because at 6 years old, most of my cars are not compliant. You know, I get it. I know that the government have issued an order to bring down pollution levels. I get that. But we are a vital part of that transport infrastructure. You know, and as a taxi firm, it's not just about the transport, it's about the people. You know, we've got elderly customers. We take them to do their shopping. They ring up to book. Half of them don't even have to ring up to book because we know exactly when they'll want to be picked up, and Dawn's probably already got them bloody booked in. Some of them, we are the only people that they see. It's the only time they go out. If anything happened to them, we would be the first people to know. You know, we take their kids to school. We take people to the airport. You know, we take people to the hospital. I mean, how else are they going to get there late at night? You know, we help people with mobility issues. We bring young people home from a night out, make sure they get home safe, you know. We know every inch of the city centre and around it, and we're there for everybody.
Alistair has been brilliant. I'm not saying we haven't argued, because we have argued about the garden, about the amount he's been working, about whether we should have got the house and the mortgage in the first place. But when I'm really down, he's there. Oh, I might cry. I'm going to try not to. He believes in me when I can't believe in myself. Unprecedented times call for unprecedented actions, he says. So sometimes that means having a beer before lunchtime. But it also means we've sat down and I've come up with a plan.
I'm worried about the children. I'm worried about the winter. I'm worried we're going to get evicted. I look at the children and sometimes I look at them and I think they're not growing at all.
Sometimes Nanny falls asleep in her chair. I try to stop her, but sometimes I can't. When she wakes up, she doesn't know what's going on.
I've been getting chest pains, headaches, feel like I'm going to faint. The doctor did tests, but she says everything's come back normal. All the tests came back fine.
I've got skills. I'm a good communicator. I can handle budgets, write reports. I'm a good team leader. I can manage conflict and welfare, bit of coaching. I can troubleshoot, make decisions.
Now, the council say they want to take a carrot rather than a stick approach to this. Well, where's my bloody carrot? Eh? They're forcing us to replace our vehicles at our own cost or pay a massive daily charge. That's like a slap in the face with a wet fish. We'll go under. That's what'll happen. Then what's going to happen to the people who work for me? 15 years I've spent building this business up. Why am I being punished for that?
I want to train to be a nurse, but that seems a long way off. A long way off.
Nanny says it's the air, that the air's heavy. Heavy outside her and heavy inside her.
It feels personal. It feels really personal.
I haven't got a laptop. My phone's had a cracked screen since February.
I'm world class, basically.
No, I get it. It's a fresh air tax. We all want fresh air.
I've got a partner who loves me. We've got a house that we love.
She sees there's something in the air that's weighing her down.
You know, I don't want my kids breathing in polluted air, but that's not the point.
I want to work so I can look after my kids, so I can keep them warm and make them good food and take them for days out, so I can be a role model.
And we're not going to lose it.
She gets angry, but you can't get away from air, can you? Dad says it's like a fish being angry at water.
The point is, make it fair. For everyone.
I think she's right. I don't tell her, but I think she's right.
We're not going to lose what we've got.
Is that too much to ask?